Some of this may seem extreme even out there, but listen to it all. It will make sense. I encourage you not to take my word but do your own research. If we can really understand the problem, the answer will come out of it, because the answer is not separate from the problem. Jiddu Krishnamurti, born in India May 11, 1895 and died February 17, 1986, philosopher, speaker, writer. His subject matter included psychological revolution, the nature of the mind, inquiry, meditation, human relations, radical change in society. Our consciousness interacts with another dimension. Our physical sensors shows us a three-dimensional universe. What exists in the higher dimensions are entities we cannot touch with our physical sensors. Bernard Carr, professor of mathematics and astronomy at Queen's Mary University in London. Our dimension has been hijacked by archons. Different names for different regions. Serpent gods, Far East and Central America. Chitauri, Zulu. Anunnaki, Sumer. Snake Brothers, Hopi. Star people, various, many people. Demons, Christianity. Archons, Gnostic. Jinn, Islam. Many people say they are made of luminous light, some say of fire. Nag Hammadi Gnostic texts was found sealed in a drawer leather-bound in 1945. Leather-bound, it's said to predate religion. That is why Roman Catholic people do not want it to get out. Currently I am awaiting a copy to read. I've not got it yet. This had, rumored to have, 500,000 scrolls destroyed by the Roman Church, including the Cathars. Only some got out. 1/5 of the text were about the archons, demons or word of your choosing from above. Lord Archon, Demiurge, and the archons. Archons means prince, ruler, authority, from the beginning fake god that created our physical or material reality as we perceive it. Gnostics related the Demiurge to the Judeo-Christian Yahweh/Jehovah/God. Inorganic, not resulting from produced growth, artificial. But Jesus Christ and God do exist. The archon world, again demon or insert your word from above, is without imagination. They can twist what already exists, but they invert things. They invert what is here. Evil live evil is or are the opposite of life. They take life and turn it to death. They are psychopaths. They are devil worshippers, Satanists. They molest children, corrupt anyone they can to get what they want. These people are psychopathic, traits of psychopaths. No empathy. No remorse. No shame. Parasites. Pathological liars. Do whatever it takes. No ability to put themselves in the place of those people's places of whom they hurt. Banking is basically an exercise in parasites. Archons/demons cannot create a world. They can just alter, twist or invert, distort what is already here. Much like a computer virus does. How a virus works. A virus is a small piece of software that piggybacks on real programs. Similar to the way biological virus must hitch a ride on a cell, a computer virus must piggyback on top of some other program or document in order to launch. Once a virus is running, it can infect other programs or documents. These beings feed of low vibration energy. They are basic energy vampires: fear, anger, hate. That is why they invert things to create fear, war, famine, molestation, crime, poverty, other things of that nature. Just look at us. Everything is backwards, everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom, the major media destroy information, religion destroys spirituality. Michael Elner: all symbols are inverted and upside down, everything is inverted and screwed up. Inversion everywhere. What we need to do is use our hearts. They need us to use our fear so they can feed off us. Our hearts do not fear. We need to use our hearts. No, I'm not saying love everyone like that LGBT gimmick catchphrase. I'm saying meditate and get in touch with your chakras. Get in touch with who you truly are. Do not lose who you are. Become spiritually who you are. If you are not afraid, then you are pure. You cannot control other people. To make an analogy from the movie Nightmare on Elm Street 2, paraphrasing, when you take away the power of the demon, it has nothing to feed off of and it disappears. It takes practices, as does any meditation, but it's well worth it. In 1994, the Chani Project was a 5-year project. Was said to be a project where a computer system communicated with another realm and asked about 20,000 questions. The PDF is a total on 9 pages. I have yet to read through it myself. If I read through it, I'll summarize. A reptilian race was holding us back, humans, so they couldn't grow. The entity said they fought many battles against the reptile race in their own reality. Humans were more evolved spiritually than the reptiles, but they suppress humans with their technology. Their god is their technology. Mainstream science: everyone has a reptilian brain or are complex in their brain. That is fact. Such things as this controls the primitive and emotional responses, cold-blooded behaviors, and territorial. A desire to control, obsession with hierarchical structures of powers. Aggression, might is right. Winner takes all. Reverend John Bathurst Dean, Worship of the Serpent, 1933. It appears, then, that no nations were so geographically remote, or so religiously discordant, but that one and only one superstitious characteristic was common to all, that the most civilized and the most barbarous bowed down with the same devotion to the same engrossing deity, and that this deity either way, or was represented by, the same sacred serpent. It appears also that at most, if not all, the civilized countries where this serpent was worshipped, some fable or traditions which involved his traditions directly or indirectly, allude to the fall of man in paradise in which the serpent was concerned. What follows, then, but that the most ancient accounts respecting the cause and nature of this seduction must be in one from which all the rest are derived, which represent the victorious serpent, victorious over man in a state of innocence, and subduing his soul in a state of sin, into the most abject veneration and adoration of himself. The archons are splicing with the people from special bloodlines because, like scientists who cannot touch certain chemicals for dangers, put on gloves and work under a hood. Or doctors cannot touch a diseased patient, work with gloves, suits, stay away. Another analogy: a hazmat bomb squad person wears a huge protective suit to protect themselves. These archons much use special bloodlines, splicing with them and only them. Our reality is the bomb, the diseased person / patient / dangerous chemical or whatever from the example above. These particular bloodlines breathe between each other obsessively, always sticking together. Bankers / royalty / politicians / etc. And you thought arranged marriages were a thing of the past. They do this because it's meant to be. These people have all the remorse / empathy / all those characteristics I spoke of before deleted. They are not empathetic, they are pathological liars, they do whatever it takes, they have no shame, etc. It's encoded into them. They are psychopaths. That is the definitions of the word psychopaths. How else could you bomb the living shit out of nations without remorse, steal people's homes / cars / kill people, make people sick, kill people with no remorse? How could you do what the banking industry does without being psychopaths? The politicians? The royal family? The UN? Israel? Swiss clairvoyant Anton Steiger. When I see people in business or politics who are particularly trapped by the material world, for example, I notice that they no longer have any light bodies at all. In many of these people, the point of light at the heart chakra, which is otherwise always present, is no longer visible to me. Instead, I see something like a layer of shiny tar, in which a monstrous being in the shape of a lizard can be distinguished. When such people speak on television, for example, I see a crocodile shape manifesting itself around a person like a concave mirror. I don't see light around their throat or forehead chakra. Usually we call psychopaths what? Heartless people. Satanist, anarchist use their rituals knowingly or unknowingly to interact with these archons/demons/jinn, whatever you call them, and bring them closer to us. David Berkowitz, son of Sam Keller. Satanists are peculiar people. They aren't ignorant peasants or semi-literate natives. Rather, they are filled with doctors, lawyers, businessmen, and basically responsible citizens. They are not a careless group who are apt to make mistakes. But they are secretive and bonded together by a common need and desire to mete out havoc on society. It was Aleister Crowley who said, "I was blasphemy, murder, rape, revolution, anything bad." The demons or serpents cannot operate in this dimension directly, so they use certain bloodlines in our reality to find fault with. Much like a scientist cannot work with dangerous chemicals under a hood or a doctor work with a diseased patient. They put on gloves. These demons or serpents use these people or people with bloodlines as their gloves. Metaphor: these bloodlines have a particular DNA and they spread fear into this world as well as and mention reptilian symbols. Pedophilia is running rampant among the rich because Satanism and pedophilia are interrelated in most cases. Don Juan Matus, Central America. Shaman sorcerers see infant human beings as strange luminous balls of energy, covered from the top to the bottom with a glowing coat, something like a coat of plastic adjusted tightly around the cocoon of energy. The glowing coat of awareness is what the predators consume, and when a human reached adulthood, all that is left of that fringe awareness is a narrow fringe that goes from the ground to the top of the toes. That fringe permits mankind to keep on living, but only barely. Puberty is only a holographic change. This is much like the Horcrux analogy from Harry Potter. Harry Potter purebloods is much like David talks about with these beings. Politicians are introduced by a carefully graded set of criteria and situations that enable them to accept that their victims will be our little secret. Young children sexually molested and psychically abused by politicians worldwide are quickly used as sacrifices. In Australia, the bodies are hardly ever discovered, for Australia is still a wilderness. Said by Australian Satanist Jimmy Savile. Inner circle groups run things such as the Bilderberg Group, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commissions, Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Club of Rome, the original Vlad Dracul or the Impaler. The one that was fictionalized as Dracula in movies and television shows is actually blood-related to so-called royal family, aka Prince Charles, Barack Obama, Dick Cheney, and many others in power position. The Bush family tree includes the following, some from above list, also all verified from Ancestry.com. Brad Pitt, Prince Charles / the royal family, Barack Obama, Dick Cheney, Abe Lincoln, John Kerry, Marilyn Monroe, Hugh Hefner, Madonna, Vlad the Impaler, Celine Dion, Pocahontas, Tom Hanks,